Hello, and welcome to this presentation about Liquidware Stratusphere UX. In this video, we're going to focus on our work-from-home metrics. Today, many organizations have put a new focus on work-from-home options. The secret to success for these programs is to be sure that you've covered three key areas. First, are your workers connected? That is, do they have the basic technologies they need to perform their jobs remotely? Second, are workers operational? Meaning, can they log in quickly? Are their apps responsive? Are their network connections free from latency and jitter? And finally, are they being productive? Are workers active on their workspaces and getting their jobs done? Liquidware Stratusphere UX provides the critical data to ensure that you are providing a quality work-from-home option to your employees. Companies can choose from several approaches when they deploy work-from-home programs. They can supply corporate-owned fat clients. They may opt to provide zero or thin clients, or they may need to rely on their workers' personal devices. Workspaces can be in on-premise data centers or in the cloud. Regardless of how you deploy workspaces, Stratusphere UX lets you home in on the metrics data you need about the workspace infrastructure from end to end. This solution supplies three categories of metrics to evaluate work-from-home programs. The first is consumption metrics, which help answer the question, are your workers connected? These are essentially inventory kind of metrics that describe the resources that you deploy, including hardware devices, operating systems, and application versions, as well as the workspace platform, such as Amazon Workspaces, Citrix, or VMware. The second category is user experience. These metrics show if your workers are fully operational. Examples are UX score, login delay, apps load time, or not responding. These metrics reflect the behavior of the workspace. Here are a few in Stratusphere UX, but there are many more. These metrics show if workspaces are performing as required or if potential issues may be cropping up. Finally, Stratusphere UX provides user productivity metrics that confirm that workers are spending their time actively engaged on workspaces. These metrics include such things as Wi-Fi strength and distance, the duration of user sessions, and what apps are actively being used. So now, let's go into Stratusphere UX so that you can see how you can access these metrics and create your own views of the kinds of data you will need. One way to find the metrics that you need in Stratusphere is to go directly to the inspectors. In this case, we're going to look at Wi-Fi information for a user. Once you're logged in, you can go to the advanced view, go to inspectors, go to user ID. Now from here, first we go to the inspector view list. We pick summary, then network, then Wi-Fi SSID. What you see here is the Wi-Fi signal strength across the user group, which overall is pretty good. But as we scroll down, we see some users have weaker scores. Let's select one of these users to get more data. We select Mushu. So now you can see what the Wi-Fi signal strength by SSID name and percentage for this user in the last 24 hours. We see that it's gone from 91% to 75%. To get more details, let's click on Resolution and change it to hourly. So now we can see this data on an hourly basis. Let's look at the distance metric. As you can see, when he is closer, the signal strength is good. As he moves further away, it is weaker. So this would be the way to use an inspector view to get detailed work-from-home metrics. However, there is another way, and we will show that right now. You can leverage our spot checks function. Spot checks in Stratusphere UX is a way to collect all the metrics you want to regularly track into one place, either based on group, function, or use case. And in this case, we have pre-created one called Work from Home Complete. Right now, this is downloading for all users. We are starting to load a collection of types of metrics I covered at the top of this presentation. So we start with a UX score. As I mentioned, the UX score is one of the user experience metrics. Here we want to see any workspace that is performing with less than a 2.75 threshold. So we see that most of these workspaces are functioning pretty well with a B+ grade or better. However, we may have a few that may be problematic. The next set of metrics that we see are consumption metrics, including percentage of CPU, memory, and GPU used. Next, we see a set of metrics that are related to user productivity. Signal strength. Here we can see anyone who is having a problem with their signal strength, which in this case, we would see anyone whose signal was less than the threshold of 80%. The first Wi-Fi metric is by name, access point MAC, machine, and username. But in the second Wi-Fi metric, we also show the SSID and NIC MAC. As we go down, we can see more of the metrics I described earlier. Session idle time, app load time, and apps not responding. And we can spot some trouble areas. So looking at app load time, we can see the applications that are taking longer than 30 seconds to load. 30 seconds is the threshold that we set here. Here we see that we have some very problematic processes. So you will either need to extend the load time threshold for remote users, or you can get more data on the ones that are clearly a problem. And as we go down the list, we see a few other kinds of metrics, including jitter, apps recently installed, and machines with longest running time, and so on. So this is a standard spot check that can be easily built into Stratusphere UX. However, if you wanted to change your spot checks, it's very simple to do this. So let's look at CPU percentage used. The threshold I set for this metric is clearly too low, so now I want to edit this. Go up to the green Set Thresholds button. Let's change CPU percentage used to 80%. Do the same for GPU used. We can adjust greater than, less than. Here we're going to lower the UX score threshold to 2.50. If you wanted to add metrics to this spot check, you would select View, go into Show All, and all the available metrics would appear. There are over 180 metrics to choose from. Let's add disk space used. We enabled it. We show enabled, then save it. There's one more thing we can do. If we want to isolate the data by user group or machine group, we can do that from here. And now I want to refresh this view. And now you see the UX score is now 2.50. The CPU and GPU metrics have disappeared because there are no results. No one is exceeding 80%, and you can see that the disk space metric appears in the results. Memory still has a user exceeding 80%. So that is how you would leverage a spot check to bring together critical data you want to track for work from home workspace. Finally, I want to show you one more way to see consumption metrics. Go to the Inventory tab at the top, and you can see lists of data by machines, by users, applications, and subnets. I hope this video has allowed you to understand how this solution can provide needed visibility in your work-from-home programs. If you would like more information, please contact sales@liquidware.com. For more videos on how to use Stratusphere UX, visit our training site at training.liquidware.com for free product training. Thank you.